legitimate movement. Others think they're a fringe group. Where do you fall?
I think that it is a still loose amalgam of forces. There's some folks who just weren't sure whether I was born in the United States, whether I was a socialist. Then I think that there's a broader circle around that core group of people who are legitimately concerned that the federal government may be taking on too much.
Well, he started off by insulting the people who show up at these Tea Party rallies, and we're just going to call it the America movement. I'm renaming the Tea Party movement the America movement.
Oh, good one.
The Tea Party now is used as a pejorative. Let them refer to America as a pejorative. I think it's much more appropriate from our perspective and from theirs, since they always seem to be apologizing for America anyway. You're listening to the Laura Ingraham Show, but at the end, President Obama acknowledges that some people, the broader group, are people who are legitimately concerned that government is taking on too much. No. I think there are millions of Americans, Mr. President, who think that government has taken over too much and has become much bigger and much more powerful than our founders ever anticipated the federal government would become or should become. It's a concern embedded in constitutional theory. It's a concern embedded in a practical understanding of what is the people are served best by. They're served best by local and state governments, not so much by the federal government. That's why we have a 10th Amendment. So I understand he tried to say something somewhat positive about the Tea Party movement, but he couldn't stop himself with, some think that I wasn't born here. Some think that I'm a socialist.
That's true.
My follow-up would be, why would people today not think you were a socialist? It'd be just for fun, just to see President Obama absolutely start sweating. But Matt Lauer didn't ask that question. Joining us now, and I'm delighted he's with us, Colonel Alan West, who's become a sensation even outside of Florida's 22nd District because of a number of speeches that he's given over the last year about the current state of politics in America. They're on the internet, and they've become sensations. People emailing the links around. Have you seen this? People email the links around and go, have you seen this guy? Who is this guy? Well, why haven't I heard about him before? And he's just one of many, many new faces and new figures in the conservative movement who are trying to make a difference. And we had him on once before, got a huge reaction. His website is gowest2010.com. It's linked up on our website, lauraingraham.com. And we're delighted he's with us. And Colonel Alan West. Colonel, how are you, man?
I'm doing great, Laura, and greetings to you. And I have to tell you, hat tip on how you took Matt Lauer down.
That was fun. I mean, you would have done this. You would have done the same thing, Colonel. Come on, it would have been no different if you were on the program. So
absolutely.
I expect no different from you. And I understand that Sarah Palin followed in my footsteps by endorsing you yesterday. So she came out and endorsed you, which is a huge boost to your candidacy. How's it going so far before we get into the nitty-gritty on President Obama?
Well, it's going absolutely great. I couldn't be happier. This past 3 months, we had a great speaking engagement up in New York City. We had the CPAC speech that we gave. The fundraising is going great. Our message is getting out, not just in CD22, as you said, but all across America. And yesterday, to get Governor Palin's endorsement was just an absolute honor. And I am very humbled that she would look down upon me as a new rising voice in the conservative movement in America.
Well, it's great news, I think, for many people in this country who are tired of folks on the left who continue to cast aspersions on conservatives or I call it the America movement now. I don't call it the Tea Party movement, but just the America movement, because it's always, they're all white faces and so forth. I want to play one soundbite from someone I know you know well and love on MSNBC. Let's listen.
Let me ask all of you who attend these things, how many black faces do you see at these events? How many Hispanics, Asians, gays? Where are these people? Recognize what this backlash is, and maybe you can free yourself of this movement. And look past the blustery self-justifications and see the fear. Ask yourself, where are the black faces?
How would you respond to that, Colonel West?
Well, very simply, just this past Saturday, I spoke to the Fort Lauderdale Tea Party. Next week, I'll be speaking to the Jupiter, Florida Tea Party. I was there at the 9/12 rally. I've spoken to the Tea Party group over in Naples, Florida. So, maybe I'm just a white guy with a fantastic tan, but I think that Mr. Oldsman, as always, is absolutely delusional.
Well, it's just, to me, I look at this and I see the typical people on the left who, instead of trying to forward a winning substantive idea, they fall back on what they always do, which is demonizing the American people and just demonizing them as best they can.
It's demonizing the American people, and also it's this continuous race baiting that they use. And let's face it, the left is trying to balkanize America and break us down into these groups so that they can separate us and eventually defeat us. This movement is a movement of the American people. It's irrespective of parties. It's irrespective of race, color, creed, or anything, or even age. It is all about people that understand the principles and values that made this country great in 233 years, and they want to see those reestablished. And they don't believe in what's happening in Washington, D.C. right now. And really, they have angst against both parties. And that's the beauty of it.
Well, I think that, again, calling it the America movement makes a lot more sense because of the demographic diversity, age diversity, people from all walks of life, folks who've never been involved in politics before. I find this to be refreshing and something that someone like President Obama should actually encourage in some way, because it doesn't seem like it was that long ago, Colonel West, when people on the left were bemoaning the fact that, we have all this voter apathy out there. And now we don't have voter apathy. People are really into it, and now they're still complaining.
Well, and the other thing is he touts himself to be this great community organizer. Well, that's what the Tea Party or the American movement that you're talking about is. It's just an organization of the American people coming together and voicing their concerns, which by the Constitution says they have the right to petition and redress the government. So I don't understand what everyone's all upset and in an uptick about. But the funny thing is, Laura, when you had Code Pink out there, when you had these anarchist groups that at the last Republican National Convention were up there busting out windows and everything, nobody on the left said a word about them. But when you have peaceful Americans that are just out with their homemade signs and speaking about, we've been taxed enough already. We don't want to see this expansion of government into our lives. Now all of a sudden they feel threatened. They got to attack it.
Well, when I look out at the landscape in front of me and see all the new people who are deciding to get involved in politics, I see not just people who have money and can fund their own campaigns, because they always try to make it out that, people on the right, they're all a bunch of fat cats. Well, in fact, there are more black Republicans running for Congress this year than there ever have been before. And there's black primary challengers, and I know yours is coming up. What's the date? August 31st? Is that the date of your primary?
Yeah, I don't have a definitive primary